Hey there, welcome to Find Your Sun. I'm Cass.
And I'm Mare.
Join us as we find our sun through movement, nourishment, and well-being.
Awakened through the power of play. Let's dive in.
Hello, Sunne Seekers, and welcome back to the Sun podcast, where we explore movement, nourishment, and well-being through the power of play. I'm Cass, here with my incredible co-host, Mare. Hey, Mare, how's it going?
Hey, Cass. It's going well today. What about you?
Could be a little bit better just because we're sitting here without our headphones on because our recorder stopped working. But, trying to be flexible.
Trying to be flexible for sure, because it's those little moments where you think you've got things figured out. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well. Well, okay, we haven't run into this problem before.
Yeah. But hopefully once we figure it out, then we'll be a master of that as well.
Another moment of growth, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you for this wonderful energy that's teaching us patience again, right? So I hope that your morning is off to a great start and that you don't have anything that's like blocking you.
Resistance.
And just smooth. Like you just got the smooth sailing this morning.
Yes.
So welcome this morning, Sunne Seekers. I'm so excited to discuss today's episode. We're diving into something very close to our hearts, and we're going to discuss play as a way to rediscover ourselves. And this topic feels so fresh and fun as we start the new year, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think play is such a simple yet profound way to reconnect with our inner selves, especially as adults. I feel like we get so caught up in responsibilities, and play is just essential for our creativity and joy and even productivity. And I do find we have to be much more intentional about it as adults because it's just not as innate.
And so even if you caught an episode previously about where we've discussed play, I think it's really important that that we're diving into this again, and we're just trying to really integrate it into our lives and into your lives as well. So we're going to share some really personal stories today about play that has impacted our lives, as well as bringing some practical ways to bring more play into our daily routine. So let's jump right in.
All right. Sounds good. Let's start with a playful activity that we liked as a child and that we have rediscovered now as adults. For me, this is a little embarrassing, but I used to sing and dance in front of the mirror to Britney Spears when I was younger. And while I don't really listen to Britney Spears all that much now, I've rediscovered dance in a way where I'm dancing in the kitchen with my kids. And it's really just like brought a different kind of energy. And then they start dancing along with me. And it just becomes this beautiful moment of playfulness. And I'm not caring about, if my dance moves are necessarily cool great or cool, or I'm just moving how my body decides to move with the music,
I really love that, because I feel like there's something in me that wants to learn how to do ballet again, and where Mari's practicing ballet right now. It's something that I'm like, oh, I just wonder, I can feel what that muscle, how it feels to have that muscle stability, and they just move so gracefully. So sometimes I'll play like that in the kitchen while I'm cooking. It's so much fun. And Britney Spears, who didn't love Britney Spears? We all wanted to dance and be just like her, because she just knew how. She knew how to move her body and how to sing. She's very connected.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
she's kind of lost. Yeah,
she's kind of lost it.
I don't really like to watch her dance anymore.
No,
oh God, I don't like to watch her dance anymore. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I had her Barbie doll and everything. It was, and the red jumpsuit. That's the picture.
You had a Barbie doll.
Yes, the red, Spears? the
No, I didn't have that.
But the red jumpsuit.
Oh, I know the red jumpsuit. Yeah, absolutely. I don't remember what song that was from, but I can see her dancing right now in my head in that red jumpsuit.
I also used to play in the woods as a kid, and I still really have a feeling of adventure in the form of hiking now as an adult and really spending time outdoors. I find that that's kind of reinvented this play inside me, just going up and down mountains when I'm able to travel to the mountain, or just, walking down on the beach is also a way that I feel like, okay, I'm like inviting nature in again, where it was like such an important part of my life when I was young.
Yeah, sparks that sense of wonder, right?
Yeah. And you're right, Meredith, just sparking that childlike wonder. So how about you, Meredith? Like how do you find play now as an adult?
I love that so much that you talk about how nature sparks play. But one thing that I remember from my childhood activities was playing with my Barbie dolls. My mom was so creative, and she actually designed this special Barbie closet for me. Aww. And in my room where I housed all my Barbie dolls, and it was this dream world. And recently I've rediscovered that joy playing with my daughter and her Barbie dream house. It was like the gift this Christmas. Like all the little girls were coming up to me and telling me how they wanted Barbie dream houses. And I heard it over and over again in Santa Claus's lap. And, and then I got to really rediscover that, because I was kind of hesitant at first to get the dream house. It's really big, but I love sitting in front of her window. We have it set up and the sun is coming through the window, and it's cascades over the dream house, and I'm just in the little closet and putting her little dresses on hangers and setting her shoes up and setting the table to have a birthday party. And it's like, I'm really getting lost in that play with her. And it's like stepping back into that magical world. That's a really valuable place for us to use our imagination. And another moment of recent play for me was turning seashells that I had collected into stamps. It was such a simple, creative project, but it felt so refreshing. And it reminded me that play doesn't have to be complicated. It can just be easy as experimenting with something new.
Yeah, I love that. And did you just like paint the seashell, or how did you create a stamp out of it?
No. So I just picked the sand. I feel like the sand is like a really nice canvas. And so I love like writing in the sand. But what I did instead, like the seashells are turned over and they're all messy. But instead I just imprinted it into the sand, and it made such a beautiful imprint. And I started reimagining like how I could turn that into art around the house.
That's really cool.
Right?
That's so neat. That is beautiful. I also find that play can show up in unexpected ways. For instance, I've learned that my kids tend to listen better when I turn requests into a game. It just makes life less stressful for everyone, for them and for me. And even this morning, I established that we are a team, and I asked them that we should give our team a name.
Well, that's good.
And so we talked about whether we should be the Tally Tigers or the Tally Turtles. So this game gave them a little bit of power, while also teaching them that it can be we can be more fun in the things that we do together as a team when we're, getting dressed or having to eat our breakfast. So being part of a team, having a mascot was kind of a fun thing to toy around with this morning. Although I was hoping that they would pick tigers because, quick, fast. But Violet was like, she was like, I want turtles. I was like, turtles. Okay. I mean, turtles are great too.
I was being a turtle this past week, right? Oh, that's too funny. So now you're both. The Tally. Yeah, you can be the Tally Turtles some days, and then you can be the Tally Tigers.
Yes.
Yeah. Whenever you need to roar or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
A team that has a mascot. So let's talk a little bit about challenges, Cass. Have there been times when you felt you were just too busy to play? And how did you overcome that mindset?
Absolutely. When I have this like to-do list in my head, just feels so overwhelming. I tend to let play slip and put it aside because I'm just so overwhelmed with the responsibilities of being a mom, being an adult. And then I find that I start to attach when I'm not getting things done, attaching my self-worth to the accomplishments of those tasks instead of just recognizing my efforts and the accomplishments that I've already had, you know? So what helps, I think, for me is just taking a really deep breath and plugging into the present moment and setting aside the to-do list for a little bit because they're still going to be there. Like they can wait. You know, a few hours a day. I would say that I'm high achieving, but so I can't like let it set us. I don't think that that's necessarily complacency, but I do try to like take a moment to reset. I feel like so setting that to-do list aside, and my kids are a big help because play comes so naturally to them. Just watching them reminds me to slow down and soak it all in. The time that we have on this earth is so precious. So, and the fact that they're growing so fast, just like it always reminds me of that.
I totally relate to that. Yeah. I mean, and it also echoes that self-love that we talked about in our first episode of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and that's okay when we need to set things aside. And as moms, you know, we're constantly balancing so much, but I think that the biggest misconception about play is that play is a luxury and that it's only for the people who are well off. But the truth is that play can be found anywhere. You don't need to have dollar signs in your account to let your imagination to take you somewhere new. And I think I've found that practice over and over again in my life because I mean, yeah, just those moments where I remember I was in Hawaii and just had hardly anything. And I would take my kids on this adventure up the hill in this red wagon. And I had nothing. Like it was just, I didn't have a car that day to drive them around. All I had was this red wagon. And I would take them up that hill. And like we found mangoes dropping from this huge abundant mango tree. And then we would just go play under this beautiful tree and use our imagination and find those moments that sparked joy that cost nothing.
Yeah. And so that sounds like it was maybe a rough time for you, and play kind of gave you a little bit of resilience.
Yeah. An outlet and to reimagine, you know, what this meant,
right?
What this moment felt like, and to know that, oh, okay, as long as I can go and still have fun and like enjoy being present in that moment, that's all you need.
Oh, and you were able to really connect with nature and everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I discovered mangoes for the first time.
Yeah.
This pulls me all the way full circle. The other night, I bought mangoes on Sunday for my kids because we love mangoes. Like, love them. And I specifically got them for my son, Harper. And at the end of the night, like I came around to him and I took a mango over to him and I said, I mango you. And he's like, and now he said it. We've been saying it for the last like 3 days, but it means like, I love you.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
But mangoes, you know, like you just don't know what might spark or may bring that sense of like connection that ties you to a moment of resilience that brought you through where you chose play over feeling like crap. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you choose. You choose.
For sure. And I think it's about letting go of judgment, both from our others and ourselves, and remembering how valuable play is for our well-being.
Yeah. So let's offer some actionable advice. So if someone feels stuck in their routines, what's one small way that you can bring play into your day this week?
Yeah, think about that and think back to what you loved doing as a child and find a way to reinvent it this week. It doesn't have to be big or something, just something that lets you connect with yourself in a joyful way.
And if you're reconnecting with your childlike wonder, if reconnecting with your childlike wonder feels out of reach, slow down and watch your kids or try something new, something you've never done before. It could be as simple as painting or dancing in the kitchen. And Cass, you mentioned something a bit taboo earlier. Wait.
Yeah.
You did?
I did. Yeah, I'm like right before I was going to bed, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is kind of something that can spark play too. But I think play can also be incorporated into the bedroom with a trusted romantic partner. It's just another way to let go of judgment and bring lightheartedness into your lives. So that's another way.
Totally. I think it helps deepen your connection and your relationship. And I think it's a really valuable way to learn how to trust each other on a deeper and more connected level.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And it just like it lightens things up sometimes, you know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You
doesn't have to be like, I don't know. Just
you have to.
Just missionary the whole time. So much fun.
Yeah. But no, just knowing that you can have a little bit of fun and make space for that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
It is.
You know?
It's healthy.
So keep having fun in the bedroom. This is the first time we've ever talked about that. So, but why not?
Let go of judgment and bring lightheartedness into our lives.
So let go of that judgment and bring like lightheartedness into your lives in whatever way you want to, because have a little fun. I love that. And it's all about letting go and embracing freedom, whether it's in the small moments or the big ones.
Definitely. Yes. And before we wrap up, Sunne Seekers, we want to leave you with a little challenge. Think about one way you can incorporate play into your life this week, whether it's dancing in the kitchen, going for a hike, or trying a new creative project. Find something that really sparks joy for you.
And remember, play just isn't just for kids. It's a tool for self-discovery and healing. And thank you so much for joining us today. And as always, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. And we hope that you take these moments and you go and you find joy out in the real world.
Keep finding your sun, and we'll see you guys next time, Sunne Seekers. Have a great and beautiful, playful week. Just before you go, if you want to sprinkle some love our way without spending a dime, why not hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel? It's like giving us a hug through the internet. So please give that button a little tap and join our Sun family.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found the discussions enlightening and inspiring. Please note that the information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed here are solely our own and do not reflect the views of any sponsors or affiliate partners.
And before you apply any of the health strategies discussed on the podcast, we recommend consulting with a professional to ensure it is appropriate for your specific circumstances.
Remember, we're here to spark conversation and ideas, not substitute for any professional advice.